pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Supervisors, I'd like to call the order the regular public meeting for the Lower Vernon Township Board of Supervisors for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Board of Supervisors did meet in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss matters of real estate related to the public works facility, right, as well as potential litigation related to 30% and personnel matters. Before we get started with our regular meeting, I want to take a moment to honor one of our community businesses. That is for health. I believe we have a representative present. And everyone's not aware, I think we faced a situation in our country where benefits that individuals relied on were halted and not available. And as a very generous community that Illinois did, our community stepped up and opened their doors to those in need, and did so very willingly and openly. And I guess it's just an expression of the generosity that is our community. We wanted to take a moment along with our state representative and our state senator to honor that business, and that is Springhouse Tavern. There's a few individuals that are involved, and I'm going to first read a proclamation on behalf of the Board of Supervisors for the business as a whole. Lower Vernon Township Board of Supervisors would like to recognize Springhouse Tavern for your generosity supporting our community. Your commitment and dedication to providing delicious and nourishing meals to those in need has made a significant impact, and we are grateful for your kindness and compassion. It is inspiring to see a business so deeply invested in providing care and support for others. We want to thank you for your generosity and service. That is for the entirety of the business, but individually, because I think that there is multiple individuals within that business. It has a long-standing representation in our community. There's been a few people that stood out. First, we wanted to recognize Carly Burns for your selfless dedication and unwavering commitment to our community. You have made a significant and positive impact. We are grateful for your kindness and thankful for your kindness. But we also wanted to honor the chef, Robert Foga, and I hope I'm pronouncing for your selfless dedication and unwavering commitment also to our community and a significant and positive impact. We have a certificate of recognition for you as well. And to the general manager, James Miles, also for your selfless dedication and unwavering commitment and your significant and positive impact to our community. We're grateful again and thankful for your. Not only are we expressing our recognition, and this is just a small token of our appreciation in the form of a citation and recognition, but I would like our state senator office, Bailey from Senator Maria Collette's office, to come up, and Melanie Cantonese from Representative Liz Hambish to come up. And if you could also want to turn around and dance with the microphone. So you have to pick up the microphone though, so that the people online can hear you.
I'm Bailey. I refer to Senator Marie.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm Bailey. I am Senator Maria Collette's Communications Director. She's sorry she couldn't be here with you all today. She is in Harrisburg for session, but she's a Lower Gwynedd resident herself, so I know she is particularly appreciative of the work that you all have done, providing hundreds, I heard over 1,000 meals for people, which is incredible, mind-blowing in just a few weeks. So we also have some certificates of appreciation from the Pennsylvania Senate that we'd like to share with you.
And thank you. I'm Melanie. I'm with State Representative Liz Hanbidge's office. I'm a constituent service advisor. Liz is sorry she's unable to be here. She's also, they're having session this week as well. When Liz found out about the incredible act of service that the Springhouse Tavern was doing for the community, she was immediately taken aback and just so grateful. And it alerted all of our staff. She shared it personally on her social media and wanted us to share the information. And what you did was knew there was a need and you immediately took action, and it was just what this community is about. And we're so grateful, and we're lucky to have you in the 61st and in Lower Gwinnett Township. So thank you. We have citations as well for everyone.
But Mr. Boga, Mr. Miles, and Ms. Burns, if you can come up so we can present you your citations.
Thanks so much. I don't know what money good. Probably in the- Oh, wait. Thanks. We're gonna. Like to have your picture, we want to thank you all. If you just pivot, we'll have- Yeah, yeah. We all get it. Yeah. Everything. Oh, you were like behind us, sorry. No, you get it. Okay. You know, it's like each other. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So now we're going to open it up to public comments. This is comments on agenda items, comments, questions, and concerns for items not on the agenda. Anybody online? Just have to state your name and address.
Eric Rudolph, 537 Montgomery Road. I'm here regarding the letter that was sent to the neighbors of Montgomery and Cedar, dated October 17th from the board president, Danielle. We've responded to that letter, and what we wanted to understand was we'd like to get an acknowledgement that you've received it and that you will be responding.
There's not going to be any further discussion on the issue. From the township's perspective, the matter's closed.
I think the points we bring to bear, okay, are significant. This is a health and safety matter, and from the county of Montgomery County, we've been instructed that you are responsible for the health and safety of our township. This is a health and safety matter, and the testing that was done failed to acknowledge that. You tested at the ordinance level as the lot boundary lines, but also the responsibility for the township and the school board or the school district is to ensure it's safe all over the grounds. And the measurements were not done near the chiller nor on the fields, where the levels are much higher and creating an unhealthy and unsafe condition. And that needs to be acknowledged. Mr. Solicitor, Mimi, you wrote to us to do testing, okay, on September 15th, when it was going to be 57 degrees. We warned you that that was not going to be representative. both in the temperature and the interference caused by nature, the crickets. And your expert and the school district's expert went out there to do that testing in those conditions and threw away data, did not include data that was the data that was suspect, okay? That was previously over the ordinance. I'm an engineer, I'm a scientist, I've put stuff in, there is no relevance to the data that was taken that evening, that morning. So I don't know how you can close this matter. We're asking you to go back and make sure you understand what it is you're closing. This is a health and safety issue, and you're leaving it open. And I don't know how you do that. People are at risk. What's going to happen in April when you turn that on? We're told that's your job. It's right in the ordinance. You're responsible for health, safety, and sanitation. It's all these nuisances. And this goes beyond being a nuisance. I think we've provided you plenty of information. And if you look at it, it's, I think, relatively obvious. That it's uncomfortable. That's handicap parking. Students, people just like myself, my son, who might be challenged with sensory issues, are exposed to tonal noise on the entrance to the school. You're going to see the fence that is supposedly doing something here as you round the corner. For our children, my grandchildren, people of our community are playing and around this equipment. That's alarming.
In the background, you can hear the Wista Higgins shower. It runs from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. 5 days a week from April to November. And it's so loud that we've lost the use of our yard. Thank you.
Nice start.
In my backyard, near the middle school, in the background, you can hear the Wista Higgins chiller. It runs from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. 5 days a week from April to November. And it's so loud that we've lost the use of our yard. Thank you.
So in your closing sentence, that this noise may still be audible in our yards is very difficult to accept. With the data that you've presented. Now, I trust each of you have read the report and looked at the data and compared it to the data that the school district got. They don't match. And the data doesn't matter. It's a flat out nuisance and it's a danger at the chiller. And it's your responsibility.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or comments on items not on the agenda?
Evening, everybody. Jim Jaquette, 413 Cedar Lane. I'm here on the same subject as you know, and I'm not going to repeat much of what Eric says, but I ask you, Eric is an engineer and he's now an expert on this subject. And township got a report, school district got a report, they don't jive. they have different numbers in them. Why is that? Because for some reason, these so-called experts don't seem to be getting at the inner core of the problem. And all of you are smart enough to understand why I, as a lay person in this subject, looks at a report that says, we're looking into why this chiller is creating all of this noise in the middle of the afternoon. Okay? That's when the peak temperatures are there, and that's when this unit is working its hardest. And when it's working harder, it gets louder. And so these two experts choose to take their readings at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 68 degrees or something like that, 58. This is the complete idiocy of this. Cannot any of you say, why are they doing that? Why are they taking the test at 5 a.m.? Anybody got an answer?
They're experts.
And then, and you as a lawyer are going to sit there and say, therefore, I accept their opinion. Don't tell me you've never.
I'm not an expert
cross-examined
in that.
expert.
I'm not
You've
an expert in that
cross-examined
field.
experts, and you know sometimes they're full of crap. And these two accepting those items of here, we're going to test it at 5 a.m. is just crap. And if you can't sit in a room and figure that out, then I am really disappointed. I mean, you're just relying on an expert, big deal. Does the expert make sense? Right? The expert's got to make sense. You have a right as a non-expert to judge whether it makes sense. I haven't seen how it makes sense. I'm no expert, but I don't think I'm wrong. I fully expect you all to come to grips with this. This is not a bunch of rogues complaining about this or that. I think you get more attention if you complain about a teenage party, a drinking party across the road than we're getting from this. We now have 100 people on the petition. Over 100 people have now signed a petition, which you'll be getting any day now. So we're not some renegade group of people complaining about unreality. This is a situation where we have one municipality, the school district, completely violating their duty to their students and their staff by exposing them to this noise every day of the warm seasons. And now I am disappointed in our board here for not taking a more active role to protect its citizens, including our children. You get to take on the township if you have the guts to do it. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. You get to take on the district if you have the guts to do it. Follow your duty here. Thank you for listening.
Any additional questions, comments on any items not on the agenda?
Well, due respect, I mean, it is a matter of public record, okay? That over 3 dozen police reports have been put into Lower Gwinnett Township Police reporting this nuisance. And these reports have been through 2024, 2025, and before any of the modifications and after the modifications were made. So just want to make sure it's on the record that people like myself, John Fenor, we've raised our voices as you asked us to, okay? As Deidre Hooper did, as Irene Lewis did, as James Jaquette did, as Alan DeChecker, as Mike Pickle did, okay? All have raised our voices to let you know that this is a disturbance. And to silence that, I find disturbing. You're our representatives. You promised to understand what the full load amperage was of that chiller. You were copied on that email. We did not get the full load amperage data as promised. We accept that you closed this. You said you did everything for us, Danielle. You said they were going to reduce the hours. They never reduced the hours. You said you'd get full load amperage. We have not seen full load amperage. You asked that you were checked design that would meet it. You did not meet that. You're telling us to accept this letter and that it's closed with these inconsistencies at that base level. That's very difficult. It's very frustrating. I hate to talk like this. I hate to be out here. But I hate more to leave something that is unsafe for our broader community hanging out there. Is that how we behave as a society? That we hide from a simple issue to fix? Absolutely simple. And this is how we deal with it? Unbelievable. Ask any other neighbors, any other people in the audience if you're aware of the situation. Just speak up.
Any additional questions, comments, or concerns on items not on the agenda? Seeing none, first up, we have Resolution 2025-16, approval of land development for J&J. I think we have Mr. Walko, representative for J&J.
Yes, thank you very much. Chairman, John Walker here for J&J. This was a matter that was before this board for a presentation at the last meeting. We've been presented with a proposed resolution for approval by your solicitor. We have accepted and signed all of the conditions as presented, which includes complying with all of the professional review letters. And I'm happy to answer any other questions, but I believe at this point, through the conditions agreed upon and the resolution that has been executed, we've met all of the requests of the township at this time.
Included in our board packet is a memo recommendation from our assistant township manager. I think it outlines the history around the board meeting, background of the plan. Are there any additional questions from the board?
I have some questions. Good evening, Mr. Walko.
Hey, Mr. Tversky, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
Good, thank you.
The letter I have from CKS dated, what's that date? Not sure, but it provides for some, I guess, missing information. What's that?
The 23rd, this one?
Yeah, October 23rd. Has that been provided?
The,
So,
there was a request for a revised waiver letter, which was provided on October 28th.
okay,
I don't believe there's anything else outstanding. There was some requests for, I think, some geotechnical evaluations
Yeah.
as well, which also was outstanding. Everything else is just more, will comply with comments related to the plan itself before final recording. But all of the documentation that was necessary has been complied with and provided.
okay. And then just one other question I have. What assurance do we have that there won't be additional traffic or trips as a result of this construction? I know there's not any intended now, but what assurance do the residents of McKean Road and the developments there, and with full disclosure
Sure.
of which I am one?
I'm well aware. I
Yeah.
recall from years ago. Yes. The assurances, I guess we're always happy to have the board come out to take a tour of the facility at any time that you'd like to see it. That's an offer that's outstanding all the time, and you'd be able to see exactly what is going into this location. You'll see it's lab space, and you can compare that lab space to the existing lab space to see that there are no what we call new seats that are there. J&J has also been always able to provide the board with swipe card entryways to determine how many people are coming into the site every day. Since COVID, it's been different, lesser. I think they're going to be moving more towards having more people on the site back to capacity as there was before, at least Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But there will always be a way for this board upon request, which was actually required as part of the parking lot development, I believe, to verify the amount of people that are coming to compare post-development and pre-development to ensure that there aren't more people coming and going. It should also be pointed out that a significant portion of this sizable addition is an interior sort of mechanical room, which you will see from any plans is not something that is occupiable by the any employees there. So I think that's the assurances that we can provide if you were to look at the numbers, look at what is actually being developed. You know, the proof is in the pudding, if you will, to look what's being done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And not that it should, I think it's particularly important to the residents because they just care about people coming and going. But we are paying the traffic impact fee that's associated with this without, again, taking the position that we're adding additional traffic. And we are also paying the park and rec fee associated with the development as well. That's not to say we believe that there will be additional people, but we agreed because of a concern of future development or future additions to the project or the property to agree to that today.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, we have before us consideration of the approval of the land development plan for J&J Property S, adding a CAAS lab to Building 15 with associated parking, utilities, and walkways and stormwater management. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much, sir.
We thank the board and the staff for your excellent work. Thank you, staff. Thank you, board.
Next up on our agenda, we have scheduled a hearing to amend the zoning ordinance for Lower Pike to extend the zoning map boundaries for Lower Pike Overlay District. I would like to make a motion to table that. That hearing will be rescheduled for December 9th. So I'd like to make a motion to table. Are there any questions or concerns from the board? Questions or concerns from the public? We have before us a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Matter has been tabled to December 9th. Thank you. Next up, we have the consideration for the removal of historic structure at Gwinnett Estates. I believe we have Miss Bernadette.
Yes. Good evening, Bernadette Kearney from Hamburg Rubin. We also have with us this evening Sean Fletcher and Donna Thompson from AXE. And as you recall, this started out in July with the request to demolish the Home Miller house on the property. We were in front of you in October. AXE had made an offer of $20,000 to the Wissahickon Historical Society. We then began discussing a declaration that should be recorded against the portion of the property where the Home Miller house will be what will be demolished, where it was located, and that the board was looking for basically green space, passive recreation, things of that nature. Both Mr. Stein and I had prepared declarations. If you see, and might be easier to see in Mr. Stein's declaration, we had indicated that what would be permitted would be greenscape, hardscape, trails, community gardens, passive recreation, and recreational activities similar to croquet, bocce, horseshoes, etc. We weren't looking for pickleball courts is basically what we were getting at. And perhaps benches, pergolas, or gazebos. Nothing that would be habitable, nothing that you could live in. Because the way I was trying to do that in my declaration, because the way your ordinance reads is a structure is a building. So it gets a little weird because a bench could be, not a bench, but a pergola or gazebo could be considered a building because it has a roof. So I was trying to make that clear that we are not looking for habitable space. No one would be living there. And in my email to Mr. Stein, I did want to be very clear, and if you want me to include it in a declaration, that if and when the house is demolished, we do have that pending land development. The contractor has asked if he could use that as a laydown area. It would just be for the period of the time of construction. After that, it would be used in accordance with the declaration. I don't know if Sean or Donna want to add anything, or if the board had any questions.
No, I appreciate this. I think a lot of this was at my request or urging. So I appreciate you going back and putting this together. Thank you very much for that. And obviously for your generous contribution. I just wanted to express my thanks.
Any additional questions, comments, concerns from the board? Thank you so much. Do you have any questions or comments for us?
No, just that, how would you like Mr. Stein and I to complete the declaration, or do we need to come back next month for approval of the finalized declaration? Or how you wanted us to proceed from here?
I think we can authorize staff, AKA Mr. Stein, to work with you to complete the declaration. And then throughout that declaration, it's okay if we authorize now for the removal. Yeah. But I think we have before us the consideration of instruction for staff to continue the conversation of completing the declaration. And then for us to authorize the removal of the historic structure of Gwinnett Estates is before us now, unless anyone has any more additional questions from the board. Any questions or concerns from the public? Does anybody else have any comments they want to make? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to authorize staff, our solicitor, Mr. Stein, to work with Bernadette Kearney, representative of Gwinnett Estates, to work through the completion of that declaration, as well as the authorization of the removal of the historic structure upon that completion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for your patience with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Next up, we have something that we're mandated to do. It's the advertisement for the 2026 preliminary budget as amended, I think included in our board packet. Hold on, let me just bring it up. Is the 2026 draft budget with 2025 revised budget and projection. Do you guys have anything you want to present or say on behalf? We appreciate that tremendously, Melinda. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the advertisement for the 2026 preliminary budget. Again, just to thank staff and to thank Melinda for her beautiful presentation last meeting and all of the education that came with it. But with that, I'd like to make a motion to advertise or authorize the advertisement. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Included next in our board packet is considering.
Question. So you got we're, as you know, we're kind of working through how to streamline this budget process and presentation. Do you have a preference of the Excel version versus the Munis version, the version that spits out of our software going forward?
The Munis version is harder to
Understand, yeah.
I think the spreadsheet is better for the public. That's I looked at both of them, and Munis is difficult.
Yeah, the Munis version is, you have to really line things up. It's just quite difficult to tease out the information.
It'll still be in Munis because that's how, when we pay things, you can see where it is, but for presentation, the Excel. We agree.
Okay. Thank you. Next up, we have included in the board packet is a memo related to the firefighters that are eligible for the 2025 volunteer service tax credit. Included in that list is the individuals that serve on the Wissahickon Volunteer Fire Company. And those, I believe it is 5 that are eligible. We have a memo outlining their eligibility. And this results in a $1,000 credit for earned income tax paid by the volunteers for the 2 fire companies that primarily serve Lower Gwinnett Township. I believe the only individuals that have identified that are eligible are with the Wissahickon Fire Company, to my understanding. I'd like to make a motion. Or well, are there any questions or concerns from the board? Any questions or concerns from the public?
I thought there was a list.
It's in the packet, but I could read out their names. They're listed right there at the bottom.
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah, they're
on the
listed at the bottom of the
Okay.
screen.
Okay, I got it.
Any-
That's all. I just wanted to make sure we were together on the list.
Yeah. Any questions or concerns from the public? Being none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the tax credit for Louisiana Fire Company qualified volunteers. Is there a second? All- Who wants to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Um, Next up is consideration for third-party inspection recommendations included in our board packet is a memo from our assistant township manager outlining, well, wait a minute, hold on. There's a resolution too as well, right? This is in accordance with Resolution 2023-20, this review of a third-party building inspector took place, and that selection process happens every 5 years for professional consultants. I believe after the evaluation, the recommendation is for Arrow Consulting Incorporated of the 6 individuals who submitted to move forward with residential and commercial plan reviews, inspections, zoning inspections, code enforcement, and support as needed. In addition to assistance with developing fire inspection program for Lower Gwinnett. The review packet for Arrow is included in the board's packet. Their submission packet, I would say. Are there any questions or concerns from the board? Questions or concerns from the public? None at all. With that, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Arrow Consulting Incorporated as Lower Gwinnett Township's third-party building inspector. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is Resolution 2025-17, authorizing the resubmission of a local share account grant included in the board packet, outlining is a memo, hold on, related to the resubmission and a resolution that needs to pass as well. But this resolution is for 2025-17 for the submission of the LSA 2025 grant application in the amount of $999,566 for site work, stormwater management facilities, and the installation of various utilities in preparation for a new public works building. In addition, this grants the township manager and assistant township manager the authority to execute all required grant documentation. So this is something that we've done in the past. We are resubmitting it. This is merely us resubmitting it because there hasn't been a decision made about the previous grant application. Are there any questions or concerns from the board?
How many times can we resubmit this?
I don't believe there's a limitation that's been
I
identified.
don't, yeah. And
Oh,
they
just-
haven't answered we submitted the end of last year. It's been a
Right.
year and we just haven't gotten an answer. So in case we get rejected for that one, we want to be considered next year as they evaluate this round of grant applications.
Okay. So we just leave it live until we hear one way or the other. Okay.
Any additional questions or concerns from the board? Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the resubmission, Resolution 2025-17, authorizing the resubmission of local share grant application for the new public works building in the amount of $999,566. Any question? I'd like to make that motion. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is anyone with abstaining? No? Okay. So the second resubmission would be for a local share grant for an application for Oxford Park. This would be Resolution 2025-18. Again, this is a resubmission. It would authorize the township manager and assistant township manager to execute all required grant documentation. Again, we have submitted this. This is going to be a resubmission. Are there any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the resubmission, Resolution 2025-18 of the local share grant account for the application of Oxford Park in the amount of $609,690. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is consideration of sewer specialty services and the consideration of a grant, a contract to enter into sewer specialty services in the amount of $75,000. I think we have a memorandum from our engineer articulating monitoring and sewer sanitation collection that's necessary. Outlines the scope and pricing in a memo that is attached as it relates to what would be engaged. The only question I do, and so what would happen is they would clean, televise, and sanitize sewer lines and do any identified repairs. Only question or concern I had is that memo outlines an amount that is greater than what we're authorizing. Is that just an overestimation or?
Yes, so when we get the quote from Sewer Specialty Services, we don't actually know what the repairs will be. So we're just estimating the repairs. But what we would do is only authorize them to do work up to the 75,000 that you're putting in this vote right now.
Okay, so that estimation is just what they think it would be. And we're gonna
Yeah,
say
we just
regardless of what it is.
we
just stop
try
at
to get as
75.
close to a budget number that Mimi gives us as possible, and yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So it will likely be a shade less than 75,000. We won't go higher than that.
Is it sort of just like a guarantee there's going to need to be repairs once they do the inspection?
Yeah, like estimated based on the life of the pipe type of material, like what we've seen in the past years that we've done. Some of the repairs that we're going to authorize them to do this time around are pipes that they televised last year, and we identified the repairs, but we thought it would be more prudent to keep going and spend the money to recon more pipes and then come back to do the repair once it's already been quantified.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Any additional questions or concerns from the board? Any questions or concerns from the public? Thank you so much. With that, I'd like to authorize the approval of the contract with Sewer Specialty Services in the amount of $75,000 to clean and televise sanitary sewer lines and to do identified repairs. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Included in our board packet is an invoice report dated November 18th, 2025. Are there any questions or concerns related to that invoice report? Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the invoice report for November 18th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Included in the board packet is our financial report for October 2025. Are there any questions on that financial report? Any questions or concerns from the public on that financial report? Seeing none, thank you so much for that financial report. Included in the board packet is our engineering report for November 2025. Are any questions or concerns related to that? Any questions or concerns from the public? Thank you so much for our engineer. Same with our traffic engineer report for November 2025. Any questions or concerns from the board? Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, thank you so much. Included in the board packet was our minutes for our October 28th Board of Supervisor meeting, our October 30th Town Hall, and at Folkways, and our November 3rd Town Hall at Gwinnett Estates. Has everyone had a chance to review those minutes? First one we're going to do separately. Actually, we got to do them all separately, don't we? Because not everybody was at each minute. Okay. So the October 28th, 2025 Board of Supervisor meeting, does anyone have any questions, concerns, corrections? Anybody in the public have any questions or concerns, corrections? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for the October 28th Board of Supervisor meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much. So the October 30th, 2025 Town Hall, the only 3 supervisors who were in attendance. Are there any questions? Mm-hmm. Any questions or concerns on those minutes?
Do they have to be approved? I mean,
it was
is
a
the
public meeting.
formal
It's a public meeting.
minutes? Okay.
Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Did you say, I couldn't hear you, Tessie. Did you say anything?
I said aye.
Okay. They are approved. Next up is the November 3rd, 2025 meeting of the individuals who were in attendance. Any questions or concerns related to those minutes?
No.
Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? All those in favor? Motion carries. Included in the board packet is supervisor liaison reports on the volunteer commissions. And I thank everybody for their participation. Staff updates.
Hi, it's my first time, so I promise I'm not going to overstay my welcome. The chief did ask me to let.
Oh.
Since this is your first time, you have to sing your school fights.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years, I'm not sure. My name is Mike Gargan. I'm a lieutenant with the Lower Gwinnett Police Department. The chief did ask me to mention, we have 5 officers that are coming eligible for retirement next year, and we're most likely losing another officer to a federal agency. To get ahead of that, we've opened up an online police exam. You've probably seen it. It's on the back of all the police cars with the QR code. Every business, every college within 20 miles of here, every church, every civic group that we can think of, we've sent out pamphlets. The officers are carrying around cards with QR codes. If you know anybody that wants to take the test, I will leave the pamphlets and the little QR codes here. So far, we have 76 people that have taken the test, which is a lot better than we had expected. You have until the end of December to take the test. It seems to be going well. Kind of anticipate about 200 people will take the exam by the time the test closes out in December. About 50 is what we end up with at the end. And that's with us competing against 14 other departments in the consortium. So this will be our list solely. We've created the test. It's been about a year-long process. The pool has been dwindling for people that want to be police officers. So we're being a lot more proactive about going out and shopping to get people to come in to take the test. So again, if anybody knows anybody that wants to take the test, it's free, it's online, you can take the test.
So the QR code is on the website?
Yeah, it's on our Crime Watch page. If you go there, it'll direct you.
I mean, I
Shannon
don't know if
Gallagher-
anybody needs to scan it if they go to the website. The link to the test is on the Crime Watch website?
The link will go to an email that goes to Shannon Gallagher downstairs, and then she sends out a code for you to take the test.
Very good.
So
And
there's
if-
a little bit of a security thing there that we're not just QRing that everybody can take the test, or we'd have thousands of people spamming the test.
But out in the wild, if you see it on the back of a police car, if you see it anywhere else, you scan the QR code and that link will take you to request the test.
Yep, it'll
also.
give you all the information. It has the pamphlets that we've printed up there, everything from starting salary to benefits, and then a link to get to the test.
Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions? How long is the test going to be open until?
It opened November 1st and it closes December 31st. So if New Year's Eve, nobody's doing anything and you want to take an entrance exam for police, feel free.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Any additional staff updates? No? No?
Just, I guess we have 2 other job openings that's also on our website for a billing coordinator in our finance department and a program director.
Both of those can be found on our website.
Both can be found on our website. Yes, please spread the word. We've also, we've been promoting it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you're on any of those sites, if you can share those posts too to help get the word out.
Thank you so much. All right, supervisor comments. Tessie?
Well, I just like to reiterate our congratulations to our friends at Springhouse Tavern. I think that was a really great thing they did, and it's with all the bad news we have in our national political environment, that was really good news to bring us for the township. And I guess that's all.
Okay.
Wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Janine?
What Tessie said.
Jimmy?
Same. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Same. There it is. Happy Thanksgiving. And again, thank you so much to Springhouse Tavern for taking the lead in expressing generosity and I guess exemplifying that and serving over 1,200 meals to community in need. So we greatly appreciate them. With that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
job.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, like, there was an over under and I was